Hello, my name's Luke Wright. I'm a Relationship Manager with State Trustees, the Public Trustee of Victoria. And today I'm with Stephen Jones, an accountant on the Public Practice Committee of the CPA. And we're talking about financial elder abuse. Welcome, Stephen.
Thanks, Luke.
One of the statistics that State Trustees has discovered recently is that 1 in 25 older Victorians has had a personal experience of financial elder abuse.
That's a significant number. What are some of the reasons for that, Luke?
Well, we know the reasons are quite complex. We know that there's an element of ageism, intergenerational inequality, inheritance impatience. Those are just some of the reasons. So, Stephen, what role can accountants play in detecting and preventing financial elder abuse?
One good example, we had some people whose business was struggling and they needed finance. The bank was happy to give them finance, but they wanted their grandmother to actually become a director of the company, and I suspect that's because she's the one who had assets. And she was trying to do the right thing by her family, but again, we just wanted to make sure that she fully understood the implications and what the potential that had for her. So I think we can try and help people make an informed decision. And I mean, at the end of the day, they have a right to make the decision, even if it's a bad decision. So we just need to make sure that they're fully informed and that they know the consequences of the decisions they're making. And that probably applies to all parties. So it might be the older person, or it might also be that the younger person, they might not understand the full implications of that as well. And I think the last thing there, we want to also make sure that the older person is not being coerced, that they're actually making a decision, even if it's, or that they're using their better judgment in that decision. So sometimes we'd be concerned if somebody was making a decision on the basis that they were concerned that they might ostracise themselves from the family or not be able to see the grandkids anymore, or perhaps they are being coerced by the younger person. So if we make sure they're making an informed decision, then hopefully we can overcome that.
State trustees become involved after financial elder abuse has occurred, and often it's too late. The money's gone and it's very difficult to recover assets. What sorts of actions can accountants take if they suspect financial elder abuse is occurring?
Well, I think that our first point is that we want to try and educate and inform people to try and help them through those decisions. But obviously sometimes they won't listen to us, or we might find some more difficult, more complex circumstances we're not too sure what to deal with. So we have a range of resources, but I think the first port of call for most accountants now would be to go to the Elder Financial Abuse Toolkit that's available on the CPA website. And that can give you some information about how you should handle those circumstances, and probably some extra resources and places where you can go and refer if you need to.
Have you ever had an issue with a conflict of interest where one of your clients may have been a perpetrator of abuse?
Oh, that's something that happens probably quite regularly for us, Luke. But our code of ethics and so on helps us deal with that. So if we're talking about in the context of elder financial abuse, we might often be the accountant perhaps for the younger person, but we might also be the accountant for their parents or the older person who's the potential subject of abuse. So we need to deal with that. But I mean, we deal with those things all the time, where we might be dealing with two different business partners, we might be dealing with husband and wives who've separated. So our code of ethics generally helps us deal with those sorts of things. So we just need to make sure that we're acting independently, and perhaps we might advise one of those parties to go and get some independent advice somewhere else.
Is there anything out there to help accountants if they're not sure and they encounter financial elder abuse?
And as well as the Elder Financial Abuse Toolkit on the CPA website, there must be lots of other resources available, Luke.
They can consider contacting State Trustees, Seniors Rights Victoria, the Office of the Public Advocate, Victoria Police if you think something criminal is happening, or DHHS, the Department of Health and Human Services. It's likely that the prevalence of financial elder abuse will continue to rise with the ageing population. Intergenerational inequality, inheritance impatience, these are some of the factors that contribute to financial elder abuse. So as a community, we must work hard to help identify, prevent and detect financial elder abuse. I'd like to thank you, Stephen, for joining us today.
Thank you, Luke.